In 1972, Richard McCluskey famously photographed the car culture of Van Nuys, California. His goal? To capture how teenage boys and girls interacted through nighttime car cruising. Cruising culture was an evolution from the old traditions of strolling down Main Street or around the town square. Although cruising was predominantly boys showing off their cars, mostly to meet girls, groups of girls joined in cruising as well. One appeal of cruising was that youths could evade the supervision of parents and family. Ah, yes, freedom. Remember that? Driving slowly down long, straight streets, preferably with many traffic lights to increase opportunities to talk to other cruisers or pedestrians, was only one part of cruising. Cruisers would also gather in parking lots, particularly those in drive-ins. As a Tucson journalist noted, cruisers are like moths. Eventually they congregate around brightly lit areas. Yes, brightly lit areas where you can really get to know somebody. Cruisers were always apt to arrange impromptu races with other cars, but in the end, it was always about the same thing: boy meets girl, or in this case, girls. From the 1950s through the 1980s, this is how dating worked in America. Today we have a real problem with men and women meeting, dating, dare I say hooking up. The age to get married is at an all-time high, and the birth rate at an all-time low. So let's address the 800-pound gorilla in the room. Men ain't what they used to be, and neither are women. You can blame environmental factors or societal ones, but whoever you blame, we all must admit the problem. That we have a serious failure to launch in this country. Here's HBO talk show comedian Bill Maher talking about why men don't have the guts to talk to women anymore.
Simple but revolutionary. First step G stands for go outside. Guys these days dress for a date like they're going in for a colonoscopy. Unless you're a crocodile hunter, don't wear shorts on a date. There's no shorts in dating. G is also for grow up. Here's a sign you have too many action figures in your cubicle. You have one action figure in your cubicle. All right, next is A. A is for act normal. Don't be weird. Don't go creepy facial hair. Or order dinner in Klingon or say methinks. Women want a man, not a Renaissance fair character. M is for man up. Look. You're going to have to approach women in order for them to like you, and yes, fear of rejection does cause anxiety. But here's an important concept many men are not aware of. Women are actually people. And lastly, E. E is for eye contact. Stop looking at your phone and start looking in her eyes. If you want a bone, put down the phone.
That's Bill Maher's advice. Here's mine. Put away all your devices. Forget about profiles, dating statuses, and social media. Just get out there and live. At first it'll be scary. You'll feel vulnerable, just like when you were a little kid and you were scared to go in the pool. Then your father just threw you in, and you miraculously survived. Richard McCluskey's photos really capture the zeitgeist of that robust era. I know because I lived it. In the summer of '74, this 9-year-old boy became a teenager. How? I saw the movie American Graffiti. And just like McCluskey, the George Lucas masterpiece captured the cruising car culture of the early 60s greaser kids. It was so wildly popular with the long-haired teenagers of the 1970s that it played in theaters for over a year. I begged my parents to take me. Begged them. No, you're too young, they said. So I did what any red-blooded American tough kid would do. I snuck out of the house after dark and walked to the Interstate Theater on Route 17 in Ramsey, New Jersey. The ticket guy took one look at me and said, "Come back in 5 years." Some nearby teenagers overheard this and offered up 3 of the most beautiful words in the English language. "He's with us." And that was it. I was in. The house lights went down and the sound of a car radio searching for a rock and roll station exploded on screen. Bill Haley's Rock Around the Clock blasted from the speakers, and I was transported to another dimension. What I witnessed for the first time ever was complete, unadulterated freedom. I saw cars cruising up and down streets, teenagers jumping in and out of them at random, avoiding the police. I saw kids meeting friends. I saw kids getting into cars with strangers. There was cursing. There was fighting, drinking, kissing and groping. And of course at the end, there was drag racing. It was an amazing, magical world I couldn't wait to enter. And the rock and roll soundtrack explained the plot to me in a way that the dialogue cannot. Throughout the entire movie, the teenagers sitting around me always checked in on me. They bought me popcorn and soda, and when a kid in a movie stuck her naked ass out a car window, they were all looking at me for a reaction. My eyes must have been bugging out because they all laughed. "So what did you think?" they asked me in the lobby afterwards. "I loved it," I said. "Yep, so do we. That's why we keep coming back." When we got to the parking lot, they asked me if I wanted a ride home. And so I packed into the back of some hot rod car with big tires. The engine roared when the kids hit the gas, and we took off. I went flying into 2 really pretty girls. They were all laughing, and I never wanted the ride to end. After they dropped me off, the driver pulled away from my house, burning rubber on the street. This brought my angry father to the front door. I wish I could go back in time and thank those kids. If there's anybody watching this video who went to Ramsey High School around 1974 or 75, and you remember this kid at Interstate watching American Graffiti, I'd love to talk to you. One of my favorite parts of the movie is when Richard Dreyfuss meets Wolfman Jack, and he says to him, "If the Wolfman was here, he'd tell you, get your ass in gear." And Richard Dreyfuss laughs. Then Wolfman Jack goes on to talk about how there's this great big beautiful world out there, and the places you'll go and the people you'll meet and see. And then he has his regrets that he's just sitting there eating popsicle sticks when there's this great big world out there. That almost reminds me a little bit of the people who get caught up in social media and technology, and they do that at the risk of actually going and seeing the real world and living their lives. What I wouldn't give to hang with my high school buddies one more time, cruising together in a cool car with the radio blasting our favorite tunes. Totally free to go wherever the night takes us. Sadly, teenagers no longer go cruising with their friends in cool cars. I guess this current generation is going to have to get their asses in gear, go outside, and discover their own version of it. Trust me, you won't regret it. Until next time, Tough Kid Nation, always remember that back is the way forward.